Check on the mic and the many times. There we go. Audio is on. We are on. It is on. Back once again is the incredible Rhyme Animal. All right. Okay, that's enough of that. Let's get into it. What did I promise you today? I promised I was going to show you and tell you and reveal to you. Yeah, let's do that. There we go. Now, if you're watching this live in the group, wonderful. I am also simulcasting this to YouTube. And check this out, actually. So people ask me a lot how I do that now that Facebook has changed the rules again. And really, so I've got you on my camera, right, on my phone. But then here, as I'm pointing to it, that is so meta. That's my desktop. And on the desktop, I am broadcasting to YouTube, and on the phone I'm broadcasting to you. Now I realize that's a little 2010, but still it works, and I don't have to mess with any of that ultra confusing Facebook API stuff. And yes, I know there's going to be somebody who's like, bro, it's easy, and then they're going to rattle off a bunch of tech specs that make my eyes cross, my head swim, and suddenly a desire wells up within me to choke the living shit out of them. So I'm sure it's easy for some of us. For some of us, it's not. What I like is high utility. And actually, high utility is the sort of guiding principle that led me to the process I'm about to reveal to you here today. Because look, in the world, especially the world of marketing, God, the world of marketing is as divisive as the world of politics, don't you think? I mean, and so part of the reason why we're so easily fooled in people's marketing claims is part of the reason we're so easily fooled by political claims, which is that we tend to judge things based on a fairly abstract idea of right and wrong. I suggest that if you know that your moral and ethical center is acceptable, then, and yeah, not even acceptable. I don't want to say something that inadvertently supports or gives comfort to, like, you know, the 1% of people that are complete sociopaths or whatever it is. So my point here is this. It is better to judge things based on utility in many cases, like marketing messages and promises and political messages and promises. It's better to judge them based on utility for your life. In other words, how useful are they? Than it is to judge them on some idea of right and wrong. Does that make sense? Are you guys with me on that? Can we get a like yay for those of us in the middle who just want shit that works and we don't want to get caught up in pointless masturbatory arguments about, well, I suppose politics or marketing for that matter, really. For those of us who, God damn it, we just want something that works. I've got something for you. But again, first, I just want to make sure that I let you understand where this philosophy came from, because I'm as guilty as anyone else of being manipulated into these right and wrong kind of like points of view on things, right? Especially because part of my job, part of my self-appointed job is calling out the BS. But at a certain point, more so in my way of thinking, when it comes to your business and your marketing and your client acquisition, you need to focus on utility. You focus on, does this thing work? So forget about what guru you heard it from. It doesn't matter if guy or girl who's 10 or 15 levels ahead of you in revenue and size says it's the thing. None of that matters. What matters is, does it work? And so here it is, right? All modern marketing that you see, all of it, without exception, derives from a very elegant concept that I believe was created by David Ogilvy. But if it wasn't Ogilvy, it was one of the other titans of marketing and advertising. So it would have been Schwartz or Ogilvy, or possibly it might have come from Cialdini, who of course wrote Persuasion and then the follow-up Persuasion, which are seminal books. And yeah, I'm using my 25-cent words today because sometimes you got to elevate your diction to the importance of the thing you're saying, bitches. Okay. And so again, judge by utility. And here are my criteria before I tell you the thing for how I got to the thing. 1, does it work? 2, does it work regardless of so-called algorithm changes or so-called market sophistication changes or any of these things that people use to justify this idea that the thing that you relied on is dead and you need to try this new thing, right? That is the most classic bait and switch there is. Okay? Nothing is dead, gang. Nothing is dead. Email's not dead. Webinars are not dead. Direct response is not dead. Cold outreach, although I find it distasteful and even reprehensible, is not dead. And neither is ethical, simple, content-based client attraction. It is not dead. The minute you start guessing about things like the algorithm or Facebook's intent or what they're doing, you're off track. You've lost the fucking plot. Okay? Full stop. And you got to get a grip here because let's be serious with ourselves for a minute. While it behooves us to approach all of this stuff in a very cavalier way, this is your business. And if you really care about your business, and if you have the skills to sort of look in and separate the wheat from the chaff and say, okay, utility is more important than some abstraction about right and wrong. If you can't get there, you are forever going to be gullible and a mark to people who use manipulative marketing tactics. And so, as I said, what I'm about to show you and tell you really comes from the OGs. And it's a simple acronym. In fact, I'm going to, let's see if I can find, yeah, here we go. It's a simple acronym, and it goes like this. It goes just like this. AIDA, AIDA, AIDA stands for attention, interest, desire, and action. Okay? These are the 4 steps of what we call nurture. These are the 4 steps of what we call know, like, and trust. And when you hear people talk about know, like, and trust, just understand that that is just new marketers reskinning a timeless principle. And so if you understand that your first job is to get attention, your second job is to stir up interest, your third job is to turn that interest into desire, and your fourth job, baby, oh yeah, make them take action. Make them take action. How do you do it? Well, I'm going to tell you the way that is the most congruent with that marketing principle of AIDA. And remember, principles are timeless. Tactics change, strategies change a little slower than tactics, but principles never change. And that's why I can come on to this platform and do in this space of digital marketing and everything, and why I can be successful is because I understand that no matter what anybody else is trying to say, if it doesn't have AIDA in it, it's not a legitimate approach. It just simply isn't. And so attention, interest, desire, and action. That is the 4-step ladder that takes somebody from I don't know who the hell you are to I can't not buy from you fast enough. All right. I promised you I was going to tell you how. And here's me keeping my promise. Obviously, you need an audience. And I'm not going to explain that one in this live stream, but you need an audience. And you can find them everywhere. I mean, combined, at least 4 billion or 5 billion people are using social media. 5 billion. And you need maybe 1,000. You could probably do very successful with the right strategy at 100. You don't need that many people. Now, sure, you can go for more or whatever, but I'm just saying to have a thriving coaching practice. And I'm talking 25,000 a month, 30,000 a month, 50,000 a month. You don't need that many people. Okay. So got to get an audience. Where do you get them? Well, you can get them on Facebook. You can get them on Twitter, X. You can get them on LinkedIn. You can get them on YouTube. You can get them on any combination of those four. What is another one? TikTok. You can get them on TikTok. You can get them on Instagram. It's not uncommon for people to have funnel strategies that start with something short and sort of schizophrenic like TikTok and then move people through to somewhere else. Lately, I've been, I think it's fair to say, binging YouTube videos. And I'm doing it partly because it's super entertaining and partly because I'm studying it. Because YouTube is realistically what's next for me, right? And I'm seeing that YouTube is actually really intriguing. And I don't want to go too far off topic here, but it's intriguing because you can get, millions of followers. And I'm here to tell you that the more followers or audience you have, the better everything else goes. A lot of the guys and girls on YouTube who I watch have either Patreons or they'll sell programs and things they've designed. And it's really interesting because, like, for instance, I watch a guy who does epoxy and hardwood tables, and it's beautiful. It's fantastic. And he designed a master class on how you can do your own epoxy tables. And he has an audience of about 2.2 million people. And he charged $97 for this masterclass. And now here on Facebook, nobody would ever create a full program and charge $97 for it, right? But he understands the economics of having an audience of over 2 million people. So $97, and he sold over 10,000 copies of this thing. So do the math on that. That's what's 10,000 times 97? What's 10,000 times 100? Is that a million? I don't know offhand, but you get my point. And so all that is to say, it's a great place to build an audience. It's a powerful place to build an audience. However, it takes a long time. So get your audience together. I told you I wasn't going to talk about how, and I just talked about how. So my bad. How do you then get their attention? Well, there are a lot of gimmicks for getting attention, but what I've found is a clear, bold voice. And I don't mean the sound of my voice. I mean what you say, how you show up in your content. Are you afraid to take a position and stand with it? Do you sort of aim for the middle so that you won't, ruffle any feathers? Or are you not afraid to come in swinging, And I recommend that you don't be afraid to come in swinging. Now, there's a lot of confusion here, and I'm not going to address it too deeply now, but let me just say this. You don't have to be sort of over the top polarizing for the sake of being polarizing. And in fact, that tends not to read very well. But you also can't shy away from your opinions because you think that people will disagree. Okay, so there's your attention. You've got to get people's attention. And the best thing I've ever found is a clear, bold, opinionated voice. How do you get interest? Well, an interesting thing, no pun intended, no wordplay intended, happens when you get enough attention. Interest is an automatic byproduct. Now, yeah, you've got to sort of shepherd it and nurture it, but it really does happen automatically. In fact, it is still a bulletproof, although long-term strategy, to simply build a group somewhere, whether it's Facebook or Discord or school or YouTube or whatever, it doesn't matter where it is, and give them value and give them your voice and let them experience you. And then at a certain point, just start making them offers. This is almost foolproof. It really is. Dino. Hey, Dino, long time no see, buddy. So we've covered attention. Interest is a byproduct. Now, again, don't ignore it, right? You've got to be interesting and you've got to create desire in people, which is actually the next step. But it's not like you have to sit down and go, how do I take this attention I'm getting and turn it into interest? You can literally just show up with consistency and speak from that voice I talked about, and you will create interest. Now, desire is a little different. Desire is where the ethical principles of persuasion come into play. And those are from Cialdini, who I mentioned earlier, and his two landmark books, Persuasion and Persuasion. Desire is building something up before you give it to them. Boy, I think if I'll skip the analogies for now, but desire is, for instance, letting people know you're working on something and that it's going to be released soon. That creates desire. Telling people that you're only going to take a limited number of spots the first time, that creates desire. Here's the one that is the most powerful desire mechanism I've found, and that is simply reciprocity. Give first before asking. And remember, I just talked about a group as an example, right? And if you give and give and give, that builds desire for more. So attention is the progenitor of interest. And from interest, creating desire is as simple as creating something they want. And then action. How do you get them to take action? You tell them to take action. That's how you do it. And so to recap that, we've got attention, interest, desire, and action. And once you get attention, the interest, desire, and action almost take care of themselves. There's better and worse ways to do it. But yeah, it's like getting their attention primes the pump. It gets the engine going, and the rest needs not as much from you as you might think. And so this video, this live stream, is called How Smart Coaches Are Getting Clients Without Getting Bogged Down by Marketing Overwhelm, or words to that effect. And so now I'm going to tell you exactly how you can do it. You get your audience together. You do one post a week. I don't know why my nose itches every time I go live. You do one post a week that shares your life experience, your point of view. I call these positioning posts or pillar posts. And this is your time to really show people your thought process, really let them know your opinions. This is the time to flex your clear, bold voice. And you only really need to do this once a week. Now, somebody's going to go, can I do it more? Yes. Somebody else is going to go, can I do it less? Yes. But we work in 7-day cycles because that's just how life is structured. So once a week, really give us something to access about you through your opinions, your point of view, your predictions, lists. It doesn't matter what it is, but give us something to sink our teeth into. Then lightweight engagement, something that's easy for people to say yes to or no to, something that stirs up conversation amongst your audience, right? And what I've found to be the best for these is short, simple, opinionated content pieces. If you watch me for any amount of time, you know that I don't just say this, I do it. And then if you wanted to reduce it down to just the essence, create free, high value, you could call them lead magnets. You could call them freebies. I'm trying to get myself conditioned to call them fire starters because I think that's kind of a sexy name. But internally in my organization, we just call them freebies. And this is an amazing thing, because before social media, if you wanted to give 100 people some sort of a freebie, it would cost you whatever it cost you to use the post or hand deliver or whatever, right? Or it would cost you a billboard or whatever. It costs you nothing. It costs you nothing. You can just make them and just give them away, and that's it. Now, what happens when you use this reciprocity strategy, let's call it? It's really more of a principle, but whatever. What happens when you use this? Well, let me tell you what happens when you use this. First of all, you immediately understand who in your audience is ready to buy from you. Second of all, you nurture along those who may not be ready to buy yet. Third of all, and this is a humdinger, you not only demonstrate your expertise, but also your personality, which in social media is your personal brand. You also As if those weren't enough, you get instantaneous, real, unfettered market feedback. You notice how my tone of voice gets real direct when I say this? Do you wonder why? Because I'm about to tell you why. It's because, while again, I have deep and profound and apparently undying love for each of you, but I'd rather chew my own arm off than continue to watch you guys struggle when I'm giving you everything you need right here for free. Human nature being what it is, most of you just bounces right the fuck off your faces. Like, and so I get a little direct. I get a little emotional. I have strong feelings about this seemingly unerring truth that which we get too easily, we esteem too lightly, right? This is a well-documented phenomenon. And it's funny to me in a way because I know that no matter how much I give away for free, people are going to pay me. So maybe I shouldn't get so frustrated. I don't know. But that's it in a nutshell, you guys. If you were to consistently just give away high-value free trainings once a week, one pillar post a week, and a couple of engagement posts a week, and you had an audience, you would find that you'd be in enrollment conversations every week. Every week. So now, let's assume that you've been paying attention over this last week and you saw me just do a promotion inside my group, a 4-day promotion for the founders for my new service. And if you're watching this after the fact, you can see the ticker tape. So you guys on Facebook right now can't see the ticker tape because it's only on my desktop. But there is an invitation to book a call to learn about my content delivery service. Yes, the name is not sexy yet. Bear with me. I'll get there. But here's what's sexy. I deliver everything I just said to your inbox every Monday morning for you. Just going to let that sit there for a second, because really that should be like a hand grenade. Pull the pin, throw it, wait. You guys should be champing at the bit for that. Because here's the thing. Yes, I have just given you a guaranteed, proven strategic process that will help you get clients. And weirdly, I guess it's not that weird, because really the truth is, as a coach or an expert or a skilled service provider, unless you do marketing, you don't really want to do marketing, right? You didn't get into life coaching or crisis coaching or theta healing to be a marketer. You get that. And so that's why I created the content service, the done for you, high converting content service, because really, I think that the one thing that stops people from taking action deep down inside, you really don't want to do it. You just don't want to. And I'm not here to judge that. Well, maybe I am. But the way I judge it is by saying, I'll solve that problem for you. So all that is to say, call to action at the end of the live stream. The founders level is closed, but you can still get in on this content subscription service. It's guaranteed. It's money back guaranteed. If you do what you are requested to do, you're going to get client conversations. As far as that goes, you might be saying to yourself, yeah, but I suck at sales. Well, guess what? Part of the content subscription service is group training on sales. Part of it is group training on setting and moving people through the messenger process. There's no part of it that is left to chance. None. And it's probably way less expensive than you think. Anyway, that's it. You want to find out about it, get into my DMs or tag me in the group and say, let's see, what should we say today? Say content subscription, and I'll know what you're talking about. Okay? Other than that, take what I've shared with you here. Remember this, incorporate it, get it into your DNA. Please go to my YouTube channel and subscribe. And that's it for this week. Next week, I'm actually going to bring on a guest who is a successful client to talk about, well, basically how this content subscription has changed everything for them. Okay, talk to you guys soon.